Good evening, Windsor. This is Angie, and it is Friday, April 17th, and this is our evening COVID-19 update. We will jump into things, as usual, with an update on the number of cases reported since yesterday and total cases overall. Currently, we are at 24,753 cases per the Florida Department of Public Health. Unfortunately, that's a pretty significant increase day over day, an increase of 1,413 cases. One of the largest days we've had in new COVID-19 confirmed cases. We were down a couple of days, saw some increased activity as reported yesterday at 1,200-ish, and now a day with over 1,400 cases. So that is obviously a concern to us. In terms of deaths, we are now at 726 deaths in the state of Florida. That is an increase of 58 deaths in the last 24 hours as well. The percentage of individuals that are hospitalized that do succumb to COVID-19 related complications at this point are just barely under 20%. At 19.89%. So a number of that continues to concern me, and again continues to drive our focus on the importance of keeping the community healthy and keeping all residents home at Windsor with us. Osceola County, of those cases, just under 25,000 now. Of the cases, 392 are in Osceola County and 1,158 are in Orange County. Specifically, the 34747 area code is at 30, which is unchanged from yesterday, which is good news. That's a piece of positive information. Governor DeSantis, it sounds like, is starting to evaluate the future of Florida and when he might be starting to... A lot of them might be and starting to make decisions about reopening the world. I think we've got some time. We know that at least until May 8th, communities like ours are going to continue to be under visitor restrictions and probably very similar restrictions that we are currently under overall, because we are an extremely high-risk community, as you know, with our residents' age and comorbidities. We are going to be probably on the backside of any kind of talk about reopening or reinstituting things, etc. So we've got some time, but you are probably hearing Governor DeSantis starting to talk about those things. He did make, it sounds like, a decision to start opening some of the beaches in Florida with limitations, which obviously concerns me, as well as probably many Floridians, given how things went perhaps in South Florida with beaches open, etc., and tourism. So we'll see how all that goes here over the next several days, and if that's something that picks up steam and is followed in any other areas. Right now I saw Jacksonville is going to be reopening some beaches. I saw some banter about Sarasota, etc. So definitely something to watch in terms of how that's going to impact the state of Florida. So that is the update on COVID-19 cases for the day. I'm wearing my fancy fedora again and my flamingo shirt. We had Tacky Tourist Day here at Windsor to close out our anniversary or birthday week, whatever you'd like to call it. We had a great day. I saw a lot of wonderful interactions, socially distanced interactions among residents, as well as the plant operations and environmental services staff, who closed our week out with a Glitter Glen Disco, as we call it, in honor of our plant operations director, Glenn, who is leading such a wonderful team right now. They surprised him with a Glitter Glen Disco and shared it with all of the residents. So videos to come of residents dancing and laughing in the corridors with a couple of staff members. Really, really a neat day for the residents, and a lot of fun to see the staff just enjoying themselves and kicking back and bringing some smiles to people's faces. So a great way to end our anniversary week here at Windsor. We also did some pizza and cake for the staff today, did cake for the residents yesterday, so we thought today we'd enjoy some cake with the staff as well. So got me to thinking as I was carrying in all those pizzas, I thought, we need to do this for the residents. So we're thinking next Friday, in fact, we are going to get with Upper Crust, our local favorite pizza place, and do pizza for lunch and or dinner in the community. So we'll be working on a plan for that, and I think we'll probably do pizza for lunch for memory care next Friday from Upper Crust, and then pizza for dinner for the club from Upper Crust next Friday. So we'll get some more information out on that, make sure everybody can let us know what type you'd like to have. We'll probably have 4 different offerings, but hey, you know, I was ready for a good piece of pizza after a month, and I bet some of the residents are too. So we're gonna have some fun with that next week and do something a little different. So stay tuned. Let's see. Manager on duty, we're going into the weekend. The manager on duty for Saturday is going to be Mark, our food and beverage director. And our manager on duty for Sunday is going to be Lisa Collins, our human resources director. So if you need anything over the weekend, please reach out to concierge, and those 2 individuals will help you. And of course, anything of increased significance, or certainly a few more of us around that can provide some assistance as necessary. Let's see. We also have on the schedule next week a plan to finish the first floor corridors, the stripping and cleaning of the floors and the baseboards and the walls, because when we were stripping the floors, a lot of ick was kicking up that was extracted from the tile. So we need to do some additional cleaning, get some elbow grease in there, and get the floors looking great. We are going to be doing that at night, so there will be no further disruption to residents in the community or to using the elevators during kind of the normal daily hours where people might be trying to access the ground floor, etc., to go outside. So I look forward to seeing the shining floors, and I know you will too. Just to kind of keep things interesting, you know, Cece did publish a video yesterday about kind of how we're going to approach next week a little bit differently, in that we're going to really do memoirs, give residents an opportunity to sit, reflect, think of some experience in their life, a number of different things. CC talks about childhood memories. We talk about, you know, a time we knew somebody who committed a crime, or did you commit a crime, or a secret that you've never told anybody. Just some really neat opportunities to do some creative writing and share that with the community. And we're really looking forward to seeing what comes out of this. And CC's also challenged each of us, the department heads and myself, to also participate in this. So I'm looking forward to spending some time this weekend and into next week digging into my mind and seeing what I can come with as far as stories go to share with her and the community. So that should be a lot of fun. Additionally, we know that things are getting a little bit redundant. We're learning every day as we go along. You know, one week we think, oh, we don't think that we're doing enough door-to-door interacting with the residents. You know, it's just meals. We do have the life enrichment cart in the villages. Food and beverage do a couple carts a week extra of, you know, whether it's empanadas or ice cream or whatever it is. You know, I think we need to do more. And then this week we did something every day, and we're like, oh my gosh, I think we're driving them crazy. We need to do less. So we're learning every week as we go along. And we're just trying to do the right thing. So we're going to try the memoirs this week. We'll probably have a couple of little pop-up carts as we go. But we are trying to think about other ways to kind of keep the community connected. And maybe it's not always through a knock on the door. Maybe it's through 2501. Maybe it's through a survey. I think we're going to be looking at, Cece's done a couple of concerts at dinner time, and residents have really enjoyed those. So kind of going with the dinner and a show concept. How can we create experiences like that? Or maybe it's dinner and a movie. Maybe next night when we have pizza, we do a takeoff of, a movie that's, where they eat pizza, I don't know. Things like that. Dinner and a movie, dinner and a show. We also talked about different themes that we might do. Maybe we'll do a Disney theme. We'll show A Lady and the Tramp, one of the Disney classics, and serve spaghetti and meatballs for dinner. So we're just trying to find fun ways to keep everybody connected and engaged. And we may even start doing a couple of surveys just to get your feedback. If we are doing a dinner and a movie, what do we want to do? What do most residents want to do? And just try to get you all as involved as possible in what we're doing and ways that we can help keep the community busy. Please, I encourage you to make suggestions, shoot me an email, leave me a voicemail, whatever it might be. If you have an idea that you think the community might enjoy, we'd love to hear it. So I think that is about that for the evening. I didn't have much. I do have one more thing. Just a reminder, we did have a little bit of a blip today with a family coming on site, attempting to visit with family. And again, I think it was just trying to visit with family through Windows, etc. And again, at this time, we aren't doing that. It's unfortunately can be very overwhelming with the number of families we have, and it's often very confusing for residents when they see a family on site. At this point, the only visitation that we have allowed to date since we put these restrictions in place is visitation for compassionate care. And that is specifically, unfortunately, if we have a resident who is on hospice, who is starting to engage in the dying process, we have and we will allow family members to visit the community and spend time with their loved one in their specific dwelling. And we screen them and we take all of the proper precautions that we do with staff, etc., and vendors before they come into the community. So that at this point is the only visitation allowed to property. Otherwise, it's a drop and go scenario, which again is overall for the safety of the community. So we thank everyone who's been so understanding of that, and anytime we have additional people on site, there is potential for interactions. And again, our goal is to limit interactions with the public being anyone that does not live or work at the community or serve a true or have a purpose of being in the community to administer services to residents, etc. We're trying to minimize any and all interaction as we can, as we've done with grocery shoppers, as we've done with vendors, limiting the numbers, etc. So same thing. I know it's not a great scenario, but I know we all understand it at this point. So thank you to all of you for adhering to that and understanding. And we're just hoping every day that we are getting closer to getting onto the other side of this COVID-19 situation. We continue to be, as of today, the 17th of April, we are now, probably about, 9 days into the more extreme restrictions that we've had in the community. I know the 13th of March is when we really started reducing services and restricted visitation, etc. But here we are this far into things, and at this point we're just so pleased to continue to report to you that we're COVID free, and everything we do, and I know everything that you do is in an effort to keep our community that way and keep us healthy. So that is it for today. I will see you tomorrow, and I hope everyone has a restful evening. Good night.